Hey, the moment that we've all been waiting for is here. That's right, Pokemon 151 is showing up all over the place. So, if you do follow Discord, of course, we do have a lot of people putting up different posts. Garen, we've got Pokesleep deals. Myself, we've been trying to keep up with all the deals that are coming up. Pokemon Center today had the little booster bundles up for sale. ETBs have been showing up. We've had other products starting to show up. I've seen individuals on TikTok getting even UPCs. So apparently they did do a small reprint restock of UPCs as well. So just so you guys are aware, there is a lot of Pokemon 151 products out there. My favorite, of course, is going to be the booster bundles. Great opportunity to jump in on those. I think they're going to do fantastic, guys. Even another round of those I don't think is going to hinder them much. They were almost $50 prior to this reprint. I have seen the pricing starting to dip now. We're going under $40 for those particular products. But in general, there have not been a lot of them. Even on Pokemon Center, they were sold out extremely fast. On Best Buy, they sold out extremely fast and then come back and then sell out again. And then if we go ahead and check out Target and some other places, there have been some really quick little flash sales of those booster bundles where you have to be quick and be on it in order to get an opportunity. So the question is, and what I really want to get from you guys here in the chat tonight, if you guys could help me out and let me put your opinions out there. Once again, this is all just opinion based. There's nothing that we're going to hold as fact, and this is God's word of what it is. But do you think that this 151 reprint was fairly large? Do you think it was fairly small? Do you think it's just whatever's left over and they're pushing it out of the warehouse? It's kind of a mix. So my distributor said that it's going to be a reprint. Now, I don't know if it's just a redistribution of product. It doesn't seem big enough at this point in time. I mean, it could change. We could see more product coming in. We could see more things coming in as it moves forward. But as of right now, it definitely is feeling a lot just kind of like a small little restock versus a reprint currently. Even distributor, I never even got an opportunity to buy anything from distributors. They give them to the big guys first. And apparently the big guys must have bought most of it out because Southern Hobby and ADC both were pretty well sold out of it before I even got an opportunity to get anything through them. So basically, I'm with you guys. I'm scavenging through Best Buy. I'm scavenging through, Pokemon Center, through Target, through Walmart, through Amazon Post, everything else, trying to find the deals on those particular bundles where I can get them. The ETBs, I'm really not too into those as much with just regular ETBs. Pokemon Center ETBs I have not seen come back. I don't know if they will so far, if they hold true to how the Pokemon has been doing in Scarlet and Violet. We may not. We haven't seen any reprints of the original sets yet, even up to Pokemon 151. So, fingers crossed. Honestly, I am really, really hoping that they decide not to do reprints of these Pokemon Center products. If you purchase the Pokemon Center products, it gives you the exclusivity. Sword and Shield, they had a really good tendency to just throw exclusivity out the window and would go ahead and reprint these particular products with no issues. So basically what I want to talk about tonight is what are we looking at for Pokemon 151? We are starting to see reprint after reprint, more distribution. Now, granted, people might be moving stock because they know new stock is coming in. Pokemon Center putting them up for sale today. Another good sign that there is another amount of them coming. And the real question is how much we're going to see. So let me know in chat. What do you guys think? Because you guys are coming in. Do you think this is going to be a fairly good sized one? Or is this just going to feel pretty much like a restock? We're going to see partial restock here, partial restock there. This store won't get any. This store will get some. This store will get a bunch. It's going to disappear really fast. It's going to get distributed really, really quick across everything. Just like we saw with Pokemon Center. I mean, I was able to jump in and get 10 of those on Pokemon Center this morning when they came up. Gavin, I know if Gavin comes in, thank you so much for letting me know on Instagram those came up. Plus, he did put it in the Discord. So we do have a lot of individuals right now. Pokesleep Deal, myself, Gavin. All of us are trying to post these up as soon as they come available and we see them onto the Discord so that you guys can get the best opportunity to jump in on that. So make sure you put your notifications on for the Discord if you do follow it. We've been working at trying to make sure we get them out to you guys as soon as possible. Granted, some of them stay. If you do have a business account through Best Buy, Pokesleep Deal said that if you do call, I tried purchasing 20 of them through my business account and they rejected the order. They kicked it out. I went in and bought 3, allowed me to do 3, but apparently if you call up the support number and you have a business account, you would be able to purchase up to 30 of those booster bundles through Best Buy. Yeah, so like I said, it's just kind of all over the place. It's really interesting right now with how this is laying out currently, and it's really going to be interesting to see how this continues. And is this just kind of the first wave? Are we just seeing the beginning of it? Is this just, you know, people are starting to push stuff out that they've been holding on to with the thought process that more is coming? We do see that periodically happen. You know, Best Buy holding stock is really weird. I wouldn't think that they would be a company that would be holding stock. If it was MJ Holding and all of a sudden we started seeing little spurts of it all over the country, I would think that MJ Holding was just clearing stock before the new stock got in. But Best Buy's doing it. Pokemon Center's doing it. There was some up in Target at one point. There's also been some other products. So do I think it's a good investment if you can get Pokemon 151 booster bundles and ETBs back at that MSRP price? Absolutely. The booster bundles are definitely the #1 product that I'm targeting right now. UPCs, again, we might see some drop in value in those again. We were seeing some really good upticks on those UPCs. So let me just take a look real quick because I'm trying to remember for sure. But I thought that they were almost back up to at least over $100. I thought they were around 110. Let me do this. Ultra Premium Collection. Where is it? Because I'm just trying to remember for sure. Like I said, celebrations. I don't want celebrations. I want the... Why is it not showing everyone but that one? All right, there we go. So I just want to make sure I got the pricing because it was just going over $100 again. So there were some really good opportunities in it. Yeah, I mean, it's still $133 currently on TCG Player. So even that one, you know, it dumped really far. Everybody, once again, these UPCs are always interesting to me at how well they actually do perform when it comes down to these actual sets. So just like this, the perfect example. So we've got this. It's $133.85 plus $15 shipping. So you're looking at pretty much $150 for this UPC right now on TCG Player. And that's pretty much where they all are right now in this part. So if I go back into the data, so if I look at the sales and how many have been selling, because that's always the real question I have is just because it's listed there doesn't mean that it's going to sell at that price. And the fact is that yes, we are seeing some sales around that point as well. We're seeing sales around $135 to $132. Granted, it's not a huge amount. So since September 1st, there was one. September 2nd, there was one. September 3rd, there was 3. September 4th, there was 3. September 7th, there was 1. So we are seeing a really big slowdown at that price, but they are still selling when it comes down to the actual sets itself. So overall, once again, really good points to be looking at is if we get a reprint of that Ultra Premium Collection. Is it a good point to buy it up at $120? Do we wait to see if more of that particular product comes out and it goes down in price under sub 100 again? Is it a good point to jump in on it? And the market's saying that it may be. We may have some actual validity to that particular set, even if it drops under that, under that 100 points. So interesting, very interesting to see the products that are rolling out. On TikTok, I saw the bundles, I saw ETBs, a person, so one of the bigger shops, I think it was all TCG, was selling them, and then they got their shipment in on Saturday of the restock. So they had UPCs, they had ETBs, they had booster bundles, they had the Alakazam boxes, the Zapdos boxes, the calendar, the poster ones. So they got a full load, and some of the stuff I thought we would never see again did start coming back as well. So we are seeing some things happening. We are seeing some actual products that we didn't think would come back, like the UPC. So once again, is it a restock? Is it enough stock to be considered a restock, or is this just a reprint? That's going to be the real question. Depending on the amount of product we see come through is really going to be answered, I think, here probably in the next month. We're really going to know where this is going into the holiday season, how much of this we are getting. So that's the first thing I wanted to talk about. Once again, it wasn't going to be too long. I just wanted to let everybody know that there are the 151 UPCs are seeming to show up. We've got the booster bundles for sure. And on the Discord, we're really pushing the booster bundles. If I see more ETBs for sale or some really good pricings, we'll make sure that we do put those on to the Discord Discord as well. So if you are interested in those products, Poke Sleep Deals, I haven't seen him yet on here, but when he does show up, he's been doing a fantastic job of making sure that he posts those as quick as he sees them. Gavin, thank you so much as well. He's been posting as well. So we've been trying to keep up and trying to keep you up to date with the success also of purchasing those, whether or not they're purchasing and then they're getting kicked out, all those kind of things. We're trying to keep everybody up to date on that. So right now, that's where we are with Pokemon 151. Booster bundles and MSRP, perfect. I would be buying the crap out of those. I have no problem spending money on those. ETBs, I'm not in as big of a rush. Once again, those are like a secondary item for me right now. If I see ETBs come out and they go down to $55, even go down to $50, I'll probably jump on some of those as they do roll out, just because I would like some more of those for my personal, for sales as well. It's a good pricing on the particular packs. And once again, the UPCs are another one that may be interesting. If you got a little bit extra money to spend, if you haven't already spent on the Terrapogus UPC or on the Greninja UPC, then maybe buying a couple more of those and putting them away for a little bit more long term, considering their performance over the last few months, could definitely be a good opportunity when it comes down to investment. Ultra premium collections guides, even the ones you think aren't going to do so well are going to be really, really slacking, always seem to perform. So yeah, it's just one of those opportunities as well. So that's the first thing I want to talk about. So I wanted to go over that. The next thing I really, really want to talk about, and number one reason I want to talk about is I want to see if someone has a workaround for this, or if it's just me that's really frustrated with PSA grading right now. So I don't know if anybody's been grading cards lately. They were doing a September special. So they did a September special right now, is going for Pokemon cards all the way through the month of September, $12.99 a card. Now that's great, awesome, fantastic deal. But the problem is that they changed the service pricing again, and I don't know if anybody's noticed it or anybody else. And if anybody else sees this that does grading, maybe you guys could give me some pointers on this, because I'm going to be 100% honest with you. When I found out the quantity requirements, it kind of ticked me off, and I've got a certain order here, and I don't really want to submit it. I'm going to be 100% honest. I'm kind of mad about it, and I may be looking at CGC again because of the fact of the pricing. I don't know. I might probably not. I'll probably go AGS just because CGC, it frustrates me to no end. But I'll probably go AGS with these, to be 100% honest, because right now, if you go and you try and do the special sale of the $12.99, so I'm going to go to the service levels right here. So if I go to the service levels right now and I try and do the $12.99 Pokemon September special, you got to send 50 cards minimum. Now, I get that, there are some people, even myself, 50 cards really isn't. I could do 50 cards, don't get me wrong. But do I want to do 50 cards right now? No, it's a 50 business day turnaround, so almost 2 months. $12.99 for 50 items minimum. So they're making me put a large quantity at 50 cards. It's going to take longer than most other services at like 45 days or 20 days, 30 days here for some of the services. So if I want that, I'm going to wait more time. I'm going to have to put in a minimum of 50 cards. So for the average person, that is a lot of cards overall. And it's nuts. I mean, I granted, if it's Dana Ketchmal Collectibles, PK, some of these bigger guys in the hobby, even myself, it's not too bad to do it. But I'm looking at this in general for a lot of smaller people that were like, hey, I'm going to get a deal in September for $12.99. I have like 10 or 15 cards that I want to grade. I'm going to go send them out then and get a little bit of a deal on these cards, maybe even for my personal collection, which is kind of where I was at. This is kind of a personal collection that I was looking at doing, and I had 22 cards that were kind of, PC. They were personal collection for myself and my son. Like the Bulba Mew that he pulled. There was the SAR Charizard from the SAR Charizard from City and Flame. There was the one from Paldea Fates. There's a bunch of Flareon, so like I got these Flareon Master Ball, so like this, the Master Ball Hollow. I'm wanting to get the Master Ball Hollow and a regular Hollow. Once again, personal collection stuff. They aren't things that I was looking at spending and flipping. They were more a personal collection. I was like, sweet, $12.99, great opportunity to get a little bit of a bonus. And then it's 50 days for $50, or 50 minimum. It's like, God dang it. I got to come up with 50 cards. Now, granted, like I said, I could do it. It's not a problem. It's just kind of frustrating for me when I see somebody that maybe wanted to use PSA grading and get an opportunity to do it, now has to come up with 50 items in order to be able to get that grade point. And that's just nuts. I mean, it's crazy for someone that's not into this hobby as like a business. This is now going into business numbers. And I mean, I even go down to the $14.99. And I said, okay, I could do $14.99. I mean, that's 20. I'm going to pay $2 more a card. You know, it is what it is. I mean, we can just work through this. But we go $14.99. You still got to do 20 cards. So in order to get the 20 minimum, you're going to pay $14.99 for the 20 minimum. And that's still 45 days to get that back. Now, if you want to just send, let's say that it's like for me for a personal collection, or most people for a personal collection, or if you're just looking at doing onesie twosies just to try and do things, they're charging you $24.99. So you got to go down to this value, 1980 to present. That's 35 days, but you're paying $25 for that particular service. To me, that's just ridiculous. I don't know if it's just me, but it just seems like, in general, it's one of those situations that really just drives me crazy. If you would have at least done the $12.99 service and left it at the 20 minimum, I could do 20 minimum. I could get that. If you're going to offer that service, at least get some volume out of it. 50 is a little ridiculous for the average person in this hobby. That's even, you know, even for me, it's a little, I usually submit about 40 cards at a time. For me to add 10 more to a batch to get that $12.99 isn't too bad, but this wasn't a batch of cards that I was planning on grading. I've really backed down on the amount of grading I've done, and like I said, personal collection stuff, just not really the greatest opportunity in my opinion right now at PSA, because I'm going to go now and I'm going to pull up AGS grading. So AGS grading, I do like it myself. For my personal collections, I don't mind doing AGS grading. If you're looking at it for, you know, your sales or your quick flips, absolutely not. I would not do AGS grading for that. But if you're looking at something that is a solid grade, robo grading, a solid grading system that, you know, is repeatable, it's actually not too bad. I mean, you're looking at, if you want to go, you can go $10 a card. $10 a card right now, guys, at AGS. If you want to get the $200, it's $20 per card. But still, $10 per card is not too bad. And that's a 20-day turnaround time. Certified accurate grading, I mean, you're getting all the details. I mean, you're getting everything that you would want for a personal collection for sure. And it's really interesting to me that is, that PSA is going with that particular method. You know, when all the other grading companies, so AGS, you know, you're looking at them, they're going CGC. I'm going to pull up, I haven't looked at CGC's website in forever, so what's their pricing at right now? So I'm just going to go, you know, I'm just trying to go apples to apples. If you're going into grading companies and what you're looking at, so if we go modern, okay, let's see, let's find out where we're at here. So even CGC, I guess, is a little bit more expensive currently, but their turnaround times are a lot faster. So 13 days, fast track, modern, $400 max is $25. So you're looking at $25. I'm just looking to see if there's like a little bit slower, but no. So you're looking at that. Oh, no, wait. Am I looking at the wrong thing? Stop. Oh, that's comics. Hold on. Hold on, guys. We'll find this. Lobby cards. Well, no, it's not on here. Where are we at? So they don't show. So that's comics. Where is their cards? Okay. Stand by while we figure this out. Kind of interesting. Why don't they have the pricing for their cards? Am I missing something? Oh, maybe this is it. We'll try this one. Okay. Bulk, $11. Economy, $14. Standard is $30, and that's our $3,000. So economy right now, $1,000 limit, $1,000 cards. You can send a Moonberry on Raw, and you're probably going to get bumped up to standard for $30. So $30, 5 days, 9 days, 11 days. So if you were just to go bulk, $500 max, which is what we typically go with PSA, you're $11 per card to grade, 11-day turnaround time, compared to with no minimum. There is no minimum, or 25 card minimum. So sorry, $25 card or 25 card minimum. Economy, no minimum, $14. Still $25 minimum, and I can get $11 grading. I mean, if I'm just sitting here looking at this for potential profitability and quick flip and speed and pricing, my price advantages now are going very much towards even CGC. Even the loss you're getting on the CGC cards is almost being compensated in a way when it comes down to the actual price difference right now, especially with the minimums for smaller graders, for individuals. So yeah, it's like PSA, and it might just be me, PSA is shifting again for their grading to really try and almost capture that more expensive market, which is a little frustrating for, I can see that being frustrated, especially for smaller graders. Even myself, for personal collection, really kind of frustrating to see the pricing of that so high with such a high minimum. I mean, even if you were to sit there and say, all right, we're not going to give you the deal, but you got a no minimum or a 10 card minimum. Okay, most people could grade 10 cards. They could find 10 cards. I mean, unless you want to pay $25 a card, you're not getting, you're having to pay that extra cost on there. And it's just, to me, it's a little bit more extreme. So let me know in the chat. If you've got a workaround for that, let me know. It's just one of those frustrations for myself. And I could see that being frustrating for other individuals in the hobby as well. Especially people that are just starting to get going, people that are just starting to get their feet on the ground and maybe starting to look at diversifying a little bit into the grading market. Maybe don't have a big budget and are just trying to try and make some flips, not flips, but trying to make a little bit of profit on taking some really good quality cards, getting them graded, getting them back, and actually potentially having some opportunity. But now with $25 grading for anything less than 20, your margins start to get chewed up fairly quickly, and you're almost committing once again to getting a 10, or you might as well not even grade. It's not even worth the risk unless you're going to be sending right now 20 to 50 cards. And that can be pretty difficult for some small individuals in this hobby. I know, when I started out, that would be very difficult for myself to even pull off. I mean, even grading when it was $20 at PSA, unless I knew there was some really good meat on the bones at 9, you weren't doing it. Now you're forced to doing it at $25. You're really tight when it comes down to small people coming into this hobby and just starting to move forward. So yeah, let me know in the chat what you guys feel about that. Is that something that you guys are concerned about? If you guys are grading, I did see that Mountain Peak TCG did make the comment. I just made a PSA order and tried to submit. That 50 card minimum is nuts. I know, that's just it. I mean, so if you think about that, even if you want the deal, and like I was telling my wife, I said, you want to go with that deal and you want to take the chance and get a good price on that. So I'm going to pull up my trusty dusty calculator here. I feel like Blue's Clues. So if you go and you're taking the deal at $12.99 times 50, you still got to come up with $650 just for the grading cards on that. Plus, then you're going to have probably $25 for shipping. So you're looking, plus tax on that, times 1.055 here in Wisconsin. You're looking at a minimum just for the grading, and that's without purchasing any cards whatsoever. You're looking at a minimum of like $700 to grade these particular cards. To me, a little steep for people, especially new in this hobby. And even if you go to $14.99 and you're growing 20 of those, you're still talking $300 just for the cards to grade them plus shipping. So $250 or $350 in order to be able to grade just the 20 at the $14.99. And like I said, it just gets to be a little extreme. I mean, be perfectly honest, that's why, no offense if anybody's out there, I know some people are gonna get mad at AGS to me, or I won't use CGC just because their grading scales change so much. That just makes me angry. But AGS to me for $10 per card, I mean, where do you really go wrong? $20 turnaround day, 1 to 99 cards. So if I do 1 to 99 cards, it's $10. $10 per card, and then if you do 99 plus, it's $9. So yeah, I mean, and that's up to $100 in value. And if you get a little bit more expensive one, so let's see, protection up to $200, you're at $15. So $14. So, I mean, you can sit here and kind of play depending on the value of the card. It goes up a little bit. So, but still, I mean, most of the cards that I was looking at grading, like this Flareon, even if it gets a 10, I mean, it's going to be $60 card. It's not like it's high-end, high-dollar, high-volume, high ammunition for sales type cards. So, yeah, let me know. If you guys are here now, Make sure you guys let me know in the comments what you think of that particular instance if you are grading. Number 2, if you are coming later, I know a lot of people do watch this later after tonight. Make sure that you guys let me know in the comments below what you guys think as well. What do you guys think about PSA raising the prices with that 50 card minimum in order to get their their $12.99 special? If you wanted to get $14.99, you do have to do 20 card minimum. And if of course you want to just go bulk, it's $25 per card to grade through PSA right now. So let me know what you guys think about that as you guys are coming in and watching this, and of course commenting on the video. But that's pretty much my 2 rants for tonight. Like I said, that was one of the frustrations I had, was trying to submit that deal for PSA. Like I said, I wasn't looking at doing a PSA submission for profit. Now, if I want to get the deal, I'm going to have to commit into some grading some cards. I'm going to have to end up committing into grading a pile of cards in order to make that value work, with the intention of selling and hoping to get some 10s in order to pull that out. If I want that, the 20 is more doable. Yeah, it's $325 to $350 when it's all said and done for that. But I just think it's kind of ridiculous to have that high of minimums, especially for newer people in the hobby. It's just a little rough. So otherwise, guys, I'm going to go ahead and jump into the chat. I know the debate's going right now for the presidential debate. Some people are probably focusing on that. Hopefully it's going well. I stay out of the politics anymore. It's just, I listen to secondary stuff because it's just not worth the hassle any longer. So I don't talk about politics on here either. Well, once again, I'm going to go down the chat just as I always do. Carl Jacobson, thank you so much for stopping in. Glad to see you, bud. Mountain Peak TCG is second. Welcome on in. We got first and second. iFOMO in the chat as always. Thank you so much, iFOMO, for diving on in. Samurai 7's in here as well, along with Snowgoon. How are you doing, Snowgoon? Hopefully you're having a wonderful, wonderful evening here. Thank you for joining us here. Now, going into it, the questions, Snowpeak. So, Snowpeak TCG, all the reprints I saw sold out, and it was only the booster bundle. So, I did see some ETBs, and I have seen some content creators getting UPCs, and like I have not seen the binder collection come back, but I've got a couple of the poster collections. I did see Alakazam Zapdos boxes, along with the booster bundles. So, I've seen a little bit of a gambit. Once again, is it just companies pushing out? That's the question, is that our distributors cleaning things out, or are they not? All right. Let's see. We got iFOMO almost done with tutoring. Well, awesome. Hopefully you'll get in here pretty quick. Hit that like. Exactly. Thank you so much, iFOMO. Samurai 7. Will Pokemon Center reprint 151 ETBs? I don't think they're going to reprint Pokemon Center ETBs. That's just my feeling right now. They have not reprinted any of the Scarlet and Violet ETB, Pokemon Center ETBs. It's kind of a one-time deal. Sometimes it seems like they restock, or not restock. Well, yeah, restock, not reprint. They restock like a couple weeks after the release of the original ones, or when they ship. Probably cancellations, that kind of stuff. You know, they get the cancellations, all that done. Potential damages, they make sure all those are covered. Once those are covered and they know everything's good, then they seem to send out a little wave of where they just sell out really quickly, just to probably clean out the warehouse. But once that's done, we have not seen an actual reprint of a Scarlet and Violet Pokemon Center ETB to date. So I don't know if we will. I would highly doubt it at this point in time, considering their how they've been tracing so far. But it's definitely never out of the question, never out of the possibility when it comes down to Pokemon TCG. Anything is on the table for reprints if they feel that they can make money on it. Mountain Pigs TCG. Any websites that still have 151 in stock? So I was gonna check. I think earlier today, Best Buy keeps like popping it up. So Best Buy is the one that I've been watching the most. Pokemon Center sold out extremely quick. So we were looking at Pokemon Center. It was up. It was gone. It was really, really quickly up and gone. If you do go to our Discord, Mountain Peak TCG, if you do go to the Discord down in the link, we are continually putting up all the links that we can find that are coming up. as they become available, we are definitely shooting them out there for you to get an opportunity at them. So PokeSleep Deals has been doing a fantastic job of making sure Gavin, I see Gavin M's in the chat, he caught one on the Pokemon Center and got that one posted for us up there. Best Buy is currently sold out right now, but that does not mean that they won't come back. They seem to be on like a reciprocating cycle on there right now. They sell out, they're gone for about 6 to 8 hours, and then they come back up. So definitely keep checking the links on the website, because they do continually seem to keep coming up and then going away, coming up, selling out. So could also be a situation on where they'll just cancel a bunch. So we might be risking it for the biscuit by putting some money down, and then they're going to hold it for a few weeks here and then give us our money back. But we'll see. It's worth the risk for me, in my opinion, for those booster bundles. I have seen ETBs come up as well in a couple places. Once again, could be just clearing stock, getting ready for it. That I'm not sure. Mountain Peak, I already talked about this. I just made a PSA order and tried to submit. That 50 card minimum is nuts. I know that's a beat down. Gavin M, he said if they are doing PC cards, if you're doing PC cards, do CGC. I like to grade CGC slabs for personal collection. Same card, function of the price. Yep, exactly. And that's why I say even AGS. I don't mind if I'm looking for resale value. I don't use AGS for my resale value, because you lose 10 to 15%, even sometimes 20% compared to PSA when it comes down to those particular cards. So really difficult for me to want to do that for AGS, especially when your margins get very, very slim. And if you get anything but a 10, even AGS, if you don't get a perfect 10 and you get a 9.5 or a 9, the price is way, way under. You're losing money. So, but if you're looking at personal collection, you just want to protect it. Like me, I'm looking at, my Pokeballs back here and filling those in. If you're looking at that aspect and trying to do that, then, go to AGS, go to CGC. I mean, I just won't use CGC just because they just irritate me. Like I said earlier, it's just not my cup of tea, but I will definitely be using AGS for these personal collection cards, just because I just can't see submitting, even 20 cards. I mean, I could probably throw some in for sale. I've got some Lugias that I was going to sell that I was going to send in. So I could do a few submissions on some of these things to try and bolster that to get there. But to me, it's just way too expensive. I just don't see, $14.99, even if I'm going to do robo grading, I can do 10 for most of the cards that I'm sending. So why pay $15 when I could pay 10? It's for a personal collection. So that's just me personally. I agree with you, Gavin. If you're going to do personal collection, AGS, CGC, absolutely fine. Find areas to go with a fraction of the price. Snowgoon, all the 151 is getting reprinted. I don't know if it's all of it or not. So I have seen like all TCG is one that I follow over on TikTok. They are a big distributor or a big sales place on TikTok. And they got everything from UPCs to ETBs. And this was on Saturday. They had a Saturday where he was doing a live and he was showing his shipment as it was coming off the FedEx truck. So the FedEx truck was dropping it off. And he had a pallet worth of stuff. And it was UPCs, it was ETBs, it was the booster bundles, it was the poster collections, it was Zapdos boxes, it was Alakazam boxes. So it might be all of it. We don't know. I mean, that's the problem is I never even got an opportunity to see it from my distributors because I'm just too low on the totem pole. It was gone before I even got an opportunity at it. So once again, it's just up in the air. We don't know. We're going to know in a month. It always sucks. It's kind of that waiting game, especially when you're not in the sideline or when you're on the sidelines kind of waiting to see what comes through. I never got to see any kind of numbers. I never got to see any opportunities through ACD or through Southern Hobby. Neither one of them had any numbers up there that showed that we were given an opportunity to purchase. So a lot of it is I'm scrapping with you guys to try and grab as many booster bundles as they become available and get as many in hand as I can, because I feel that that's going to be the optimum product. When it comes, except for the Pokemon Center ETB. The only other one that would be better would be the Pokemon Center ETB. If those came available again, I'd try and get as much as I could for those as well. Refine me. Are you coming to the Minnesota card show in St. Paul this weekend? I intend on being there on Saturday. I will not be selling there. I was going to try and get a booth. I did not get a booth there, so I am intending on coming over and just checking it out and spending some time. So the answer is yes. My intention is to be there on Saturday at least. So I hope to see you there, Refine Me. Gimbo Slice, I'm late. What up, folks? How's it going, Gimbo? Hopefully you've had a great week so far. Of course, it's early, but hopefully you had a good weekend and a great week so far as everybody's kind of tuning in here now. But yeah, overall, I'm going to be there. Refine Me. I'm going to try and be there on Saturday. I'll come find you because I know the booth. You sent me the booth name, so I'll try and at least come over and say hi to you as well. Snowgoon, I'm trying to understand the slab market, but it's a bit weird. I've seen people ask dumb prices in low grades because of the population being low, sometimes higher than high grades. It is a very interesting market. Let's just be 100% honest, Snowgoon. So some people will put a lot of value on like a PSA 1. They'll put I've seen people ask more for a PSA 1 than, like you said, for a PSA 10, because they say that the, population in you're trying to figure it out is just absolutely, it's so difficult. I'm going to be 100% honest with you, Snowgoon. I personally still have I'm trying to think of the best words for it, is I'm really reserved on how I handle the grading market in general. Typically, I just go for the high-end cards, the cards people are going to have demand for, and try and send the best quality that I can. I sit there and I use black light on them, and I go through and check centering on them. I make sure that I go through them with a fine-tooth comb. And overall, I think that it's a very confusing market, and the margins just continue to get tighter and tighter and tighter. When you can see even some of the PSA 10s coming in closer to the price like the raw cards. So, for example, that Garantina V is a perfect example of it. A lot of people don't mention it, but if you look at if you go and you pull open the Garantina. So if you go in and pull open the Garantina and we take a look at it. So, where is it? There it is. So, if we look at the overall value of this particular card over the last even year, this card was all the way down about last year, about $230. It's done nothing but kind of move up and down right around that $350 to $400 range, kind of periodically throughout the whole year. So, overall, it's been still holding really good value overall when it comes down to that particular card itself. But now, the interesting thing is that if you now go in, we'll just go PokeData, because PokeData is a really, really good source. Once again, I'm not getting any sponsorship or anything from them. I just find their system to be extremely easy to use. So I do always suggest using PokeData, because you can see raw pricing and you can see the actual PSA pricing as well. So you can really compare in. So if I put the Garantina V into PokeData here, I can see the PSA 10 pricing, and I can see the raw pricing when it comes down to this particular card, and I can go here and shut it down to just what I want to see. So I want raw, I want PSA 10. If we actually look at this card, now if you were to go and buy this card right now, today, the raw pricing on it right now is selling at about $353. The graded card price is about $6. So you're at $625. The raw value was almost $1,000 and has completely dropped down all the way down, almost $400 down from its peak. The raw was at about $425, and now it's only $100 down from the raw from its peak, all the way back in roughly mid-May. Now, if you go ahead and get that card now in a 9, you pay nothing. You got to pay the premium to get it graded because it's over the $199, so you're over the $200 range for doing this particular card. So if you're going for the $200 in value, you automatically got to go up, and you're already paying another $25 for that particular card. So you're paying $25 minimum to grade that card, plus the shipping to get it there, plus the other thing. So if you were to grade that card right now and get a PSA 9, you are upside down. The raw pricing is actually keeping up with it. And that's the problem that I've had with grading is even the best cards, unless you get a 10, you're dead. You're losing money the second you don't get a 10. So you really are putting a lot of value on the 10 or nothing game. And that is exactly why I've kind of backed out of the grading market continually. Just altogether recently, I really haven't done anything. This is the first submission that I was going to do is because I got the big email of the $12.99. I paid $100 where I have accessibility to the pricing. But I have seen overall the market is just too tight and there is no leeway. I see 9s that are actually going under the value. So even the 9, so at one point in June, the raw was going for $4.25 and the 9 was going for $3.98. So there's several times that even getting it graded, you're going the other way. You know, you're actually undervalued from the raw pricing. So if that's the case, unless you know 100% without a doubt that you get a 10, why would you go into that market? It just doesn't make sense any longer. At least the 9, you would at least make a little money, you know, make at least 10%. If you hit the 10, you know, like I said, back when I was grading, it was, okay, I get the 10. I can almost double up on the value of this card. Perfect. If I get the 9, I'm going to still make that 15 to 20% margin that I'm looking for, at least to make a little money on it. But now it's like the 9 is backwards. So you hit 10 or nothing, 10 or a loss, and it's just not worth it. How's it going, Trainer Sin Collectors? How are you doing today? Well, thank you for joining live. Andy, for long-term investments, when do you feel it's the right time to sell? I'm up about 80 to 90 on my Lost Origin booster boxes, but I'm still holding. It's all up to you. I'm going to be 100% honest, Gimbo. I'm up, God knows how much on those Evolving Skies, but I'm just not in any rush to sell them. If you need money, I mean, if you're trying to flip things and you're continually trying to find more value, more money to roll, then right now I would have sold out personally. I would have probably gotten up to 75-80% value, and I probably would have started selling off some of my stock and just gradually kind of sold out of it slowly. Not quick, not dumping it. I would probably just do a nice slow trickle out to see if the market continues to move up. I would probably wait until I saw, personally when I do it, I wait for a market that's slightly starting to move up. So the spring, if I want to take some Evolving Skies and I want to sell it, I'm going to wait until I see a buyer's market on Evolving Skies, where I start seeing the market going from like now 650, 625, 650, and then we start seeing it kind of cruising up and going more up until that, until we see it going up like 700. When we start seeing it move up again, I'm going to start periodically selling through there to hopefully be ahead of them, you know, listed at like 710, 725, and that way they run through it, and then list some at 750, some at 775, and that way they just continually roll through it, and I'm cost dollar averaging off the products so that I'm increasing my value as they sell. So, yeah, I mean, that's what I would typically do, and it really depends on if I'm trying to pull income out of my investments or not, if I'm trying to roll it into something else, if I see something that, let's say, you know, you don't think Lost Origins is going to do anything for 3 to 5 years, and you see another product that you feel is going to do extremely well, like the new Evolution set. Let's say you know that new Evolution set's coming up. Okay, this is only going to get me another 10 to 15% over the next couple of years. Let's sell out of this. Let's go buy the new EV Heroes 2.0 because that's going to get me 200 to 300% gains. Then I'll do stuff like that as well, and that's where you gotta kind of feel out that market. And sometimes there are products that are better to sell and maybe just let them ride, get away from them because they're just not going to have that value increaser that we are currently seeing with other products that are currently out there in the Pokemon TCG. Team Rocket set, another one, may be doing a lot better in the next 2 years than this Lost Origins will be in the next 2 years. If that's the case, maybe it's time to get out of Lost Origins and put that money to where you could roll more of it into Team Rocket and EV Heroes. That's kind of what I do with a lot of the products I currently do when I look at the investment side is this product going to, so I'm just going to grab a stupid booster box. I mean, I got one sitting right here. Is this box right now going to give me as much value as a Team Rocket, Team Rocket box is going to do? Am I better off to take this box, sell it now because I don't feel that this is going to do anything for a couple years, and go and buy Team Rocket with that money and then let that continue to bolster my portfolio and give me more value? That's kind of the calls that sometimes I make, and that's what I'm judging on right now. Is I am selling down on like some Lost Origin. I'm selling down on some Brilliant Stars really slow. I'm kind of working on some other ones too, like some Scarlet and Violet. I'm selling down on like Obsidian Flame and sets like that. I had two cases. I'm slowly selling them out just as the market kind of keeps going up a little bit with them, just to kind of ride it out, because I feel that Team Rocket and the Eevee Heroes 2.0 is probably going to be a lot better place to place money based on the projections I see in the Pokemon TCG. Snowgoon. Do people not understand that grading garbage is still garbage? Just seems like people will grade anything in the Yu-Gi-Oh community. Pokemon players have tried doing the same in Yu-Gi-Oh, and I get laughed at. Yeah. The funny thing is that I absolutely agree. If it's a damage card and it's only getting a 1, it's a damage card. It's junk. I mean, I don't understand. People always go by population reports a lot of times, but the population report thing gets blown out of the water a lot as well. Yes, I mean, if you've got a PSA 10 and it's a 1 of 1 and it's a very difficult grade, let's say it's a vintage card and you've got even a PSA 9 and you've got 1 of 1, yeah, I could see value in that. But if you get a value of a 1 of 1 and it's the first one, how hard is it for me to go, oh, here's this Pokemon card, look, I want to get a grade. Okay, look, I'm going to send it in for grading now and see if I get a 1. I mean, realistically, a 1 to me is just a dumb grade. You can make your own ones. Yeah, okay, it comes back. Oh, crap, I didn't get a 1. But that 1 of 1 energy is selling for $1,000. Well, now it can be a 1 of 2 or a 1 of 4 really quickly, just because you can damage your own cards and do these things. So, yeah, a 1 of 1 just doesn't make any sense. A PSA 1, them low grade cards, I know there's people that like they're sought after, but it's just not my thing. I don't understand it. I never will. It's not something that I'll ever be going, look at my lovely collection of PSA 1s. Yes, sir. These fine connoisseur of PSA 1s. Come welcome in and see them, please. Thank you. No, that's not going to be me. I just don't understand that market. I never will. I don't want garbage. I don't want junk. I want the best. If I'm going to buy it, it's going to be at least a 9 or better. I guarantee that. Let's see. Counselor Jelly, thank you so much for joining in. Would you sell Evolving Skies booster box case? Not currently, no. I am still holding on to those. Them are going to be a long-term hold for me. I was just giving an example of it, but I do have 5 cases, and I will be holding on to those for the long term, just because I don't have any cost into them. So they're just they're a really big staple in my investment portfolio right now, and I like the opportunity that I could sell them at any time, and that would give me a ton of money to go someplace else and do something with. So, yeah, I personally will not be selling any Evolving Skies currently. So, I feel that these boxes have a very good potential to, by the end of next year, would be probably around $900 to $1,000. I think pretty successfully crossing in past next tax season. I feel that they'll be up there at that range as we get further and further away from Sword and Shield. Give us a so you sell when you think stuff has gone up, but now it's flat sideways. Get your money back and into something that has a chance of going up sooner. Exactly. So I buy when it's low, and I sell as it's starting to move up. So as I see the value of something, so like I said, Obsidian Flame was a perfect one to use as an example. Granted, it didn't move as much as like something like Brilliant Stars or Evolving Skies would. So what I look at is when something sells, I sit there and I go, okay, Obsidian Flame. I started, it was going up. I bought it at $85 a booster box. It went up to $100. I'm like, this set's going to die. They're going to do a reprint, whatever. I started listing it at like 105, 110, 115. So I put 2 and 2 of a case, and as it ran through it, I sold them all out. And I took the money then, and I'm putting it into the next set. So it's just like you're continually using that market and just slowly trying to find a buyer's market on a product that you have and sell it out. Even if it's flat. I mean, if you're selling flat and you just list them all at today's pricing and you're making 80 to 90% profit on them, great. Do you think Lost Origins is going to go up as much as Team Rocket Returns, a new set coming out? Or is it going to go up as much as Eevee Heroes 2.0 when we get these sets released? Probably not. Those two might outperform if you can get in, especially at, you know, distributor pricing or first release around that $115, $100 a booster box on those really hot sets. They could really outperform, and you could see 50, 60, 70% gains on those that you would not see on that Lost Origins or Brilliant Stars box. And once again, though, if you like the box, you feel it's going to be great in 5 years, then hold it. I mean, it's a really difficult way to. It's really difficult to really put all these mindsets out there. I mean, I wish you could see my head and how many different ways I'm constantly running figures and doing these things and reinvesting and breaking and moving this and reinvesting into something else, getting in when it's going down because I see real good value in it. You know, Charizard UPCs, perfect example. Remember a year ago when I said people were crazy when they were sitting there saying, don't buy this because it's $70 and it's garbage. Well, you were willing to pay $120 for it. You were willing to pay $180 for it. Why all of a sudden, when it's $70, are you not doubling down and buying the crap out of this Charizard UPC? I mean, I think we all talked about that at one point, that how you're just tying up your money for years was a lot of people's thing. And I'm going to go right now. That was another one. It was stupid expensive. So just like that Charizard UPC was printed to death. Absolutely death. And we were paying it. I was buying it. Remember, I was giving links to like buying it for like $72 in UPC. I said, fantastic buy. And we were buying these things, and we were all kind of laughing and saying these things are going to be garbage. Nobody's going to want them for years. Them things right now, if you were to go on TCG Player and list them, they are selling right now for $165. $165 plus. Oh, that's free shipping. So $165 right now, guys. That's how much this has changed. So, I mean, you're looking at the last one, and they've been selling. I mean, ever since, you know, you've got this month, probably as many as the Mew one. So, as much as the 151 UPC has been selling. Even though it was printed to death, that thing was everywhere. You were tripping over them in Walmart. They had so many of them for that Black Friday sale. So, yeah, no, I definitely think that it's, I definitely think that there's some good opportunities in UPCs. You know, it's just hard to say. I mean, it's really hard to say how much value is. It might be a good selling point to that as well, too. That UPC, if you did buy them, get into them, maybe now it's time to start cashing out on some of those and reinvesting as well into those. Let's see. So you think that Evolving Skies booster case would get to 6 to 7K? I would think so. I mean, what's a case running now? I know it's not cheap. It's case 5,000 right now, roughly. So let's see, Evolving Skies booster box, booster case. So right now, case is 40. Yeah, so $4,500 for a case right now, and there's 13 of them listed. So, and they've been selling. Yeah, 46 was the last sale. So 40, right there. I mean, you got $684 a booster box right now. So yeah, I could see them being $1,000. I could see within the next year them getting really close to that $900 range. Give a slice. Do you have any Japanese 151 boxes left? I'm still holding. I think it has a good chance of shooting back up to 150 soon, or even 200. Yes, I still have 3 cases of the 151 booster boxes, or Japanese 151 booster boxes. So I do have 3 cases of those that I did purchase, so I'm holding on to those for long term. I feel the same way. That's something I wouldn't be selling out right now. I feel that I'm right with you. We just watch how they consistently just keep marching back up in price. I mean, they were down to, what, $58, $55, $58. They went up to $65, and now they're all the way back up to like $78 to $90, depending on where you're looking at them. So overall, another one of those. They're marching up really quickly. So once again, if it's moving, leave it be. Just sit on it and let it ride. When it starts going sideways, then it's time to be looking at it, whether or not you think it's going to have another jump, or is it time to call it good and move on to the next investment. Once again, opportunity cost. Is it worth sitting on the opportunity cost? As iFOMO just said, is it time to look at another opportunity and not give up and sell out to get that opportunity. Those are all things that you should be continually looking at in an investment portfolio. It's the same thing with the stock market. It's the same thing with any other thing. The only difference is it's a little bit more difficult to sometimes move some of these products and get them out comparatively to like a stock market. You know, stock markets, you can just go online, click 3 clicks, and it's sold. You know, the stock market or the Pokemon market, when you're selling stuff, doesn't exactly happen that way. So the other one I've been looking at selling are these the EV gym boxes back there. Because them right now, they were around $1,300. So if I go EV Heroes gym box, so they're still about $1,000. So about $1,000 right now, best offer. So once again, it's one of them items that's been kind of stagnating again, and I'm questioning on whether or not I should continue to hold them. I bought them for $250, so I'm way up on my value. Is it time to move on those too? I keep going back and forth. I have some bias into that. I'm not gonna lie. That particular boxes behind me have some bias when it comes down to it. Part of me wants to sell out. The other part of me wants to just hold on and see where they go in another 5 years, because I do like the EV Heroes. I think that they're an awesome little gym box as well. So, yeah, my bias is kind of getting into me when it comes down to the EV. Snowgoon just says, Big Gamba. Let's see. Swift Collections, welcome on into the chat. Imagine if English 151 doesn't get a big reprint and this turns out to be a small reprint restock. English 151 would absolutely rocket up in price from here. The risk reward right now is wild. And I 100% agree. That's actually kind of what we just started out discussing on here, was the fact that even when they do come up for order, like Best Buy, Pokemon Center, Target had a small little spat of them. When they come up and they come down to that MSRP price around that $28, they are gone. And I mean gone in hours. You don't have time. So you think about a big chain like Pokemon Center or Best Buy or Target, when people find out and they're listed up on like X for Pokemon deals and all that, are putting them up immediately. So getting on top of those and getting them and seeing how fast they disappear tells me right now that they don't have a lot of stock coming. It could be just that they're starting out and they're slow releasing it. But on the other hand, it kind of seems like it might be a little bit smaller than some of us were assuming. I know from the distributor side, I never had an opportunity for purchasing any of it, because they did give the opportunity, from what I understood talking to the guy from Southern Hobby, they gave the opportunity to some of the larger companies and places. They're giving it to them first. And they are not sending it. I never made it to me. I never had an opportunity being as small as I was. So that's one of those risk rewards. Once again, I'm buying in. I'm buying in more booster bundles. I feel that this may be the last round that we see for 151 English. And if that's the case, I'm willing to take the risk of buying a couple more booster bundles and riding it out. I think they will be back up to that $50 range pretty quickly. So if you can buy them at $28, even $30, right in that range with tax, you're looking at almost doubling up. I mean, you're getting a 40% value boost on those immediately just for holding on to them probably for a few months. And I think I think part of the reason that price has been sitting at $50 is people have been afraid of a reprint. We've seen it with Shining Fates. We've seen it with Hidden Fates. We've seen it with Champion's Path. How they will do multiple reprints on sets and continually just keep pumping out product when it's popular. Paladin Fates is another one we're keeping our eye on. You don't know how much you want to hold or invest into until you know where this is going and how many they're going to do. So that can sometimes hinder the market and slow down the amount of product that people are willing to purchase or sell for or buy at. I mean, if you think that there's going to be more of these, 6-pack bundles, so your thought process is that more of these are coming, why would you spend $50 on these unless you're really, really chasing a Charizard? I mean, if you think that more of these are coming and the price is going to drop again, you're not going to spend a ton of money on them. I mean, $50 seems to be about the max that people will pay. And that may change, and that may, once we get past this reprint, and if it's small, it may really change people's feelings when it comes down to these products and how fast they start to accelerate, especially on these hot sets of the Scarlet and Violet era. I think a lot of people, even Obsidian Flame, Paldea Evolved, all those sets are still being hindered because even myself, I'm predicting a reprint. I really am. I don't want to spend a ton of money on any of those sets. But can you imagine if Paldea Evolved doesn't get a reprint with that Magikarp chase? That booster box could go up a ton. Twilight Masquerade right now, hottest set when it comes down to a main set of the Scarlet and Violet era. I mean, we're at $140 a booster box. That's unheard of in Scarlet and Violet. We've seen all these booster boxes like to sit around 110, 115 max. This one is the newest set, and it's cranking out like crazy because of that Greninja chase. It took one card to take off in value in order to make a chase, and that's exactly the things that you can't always foresee. I never saw that Greninja doing that well. I was thinking it'd be a $200 card fairly easy, but I didn't think it'd be pushing $350 all the way back down to $300 now, but I would have never thought that it was going to do that, especially as quickly as it did. But once again, it's just one of those crazy things. You know, you can't foresee everything in the market, and it's a lot of speculating, it's a lot of prediction, it's a lot of gut feelings on what you think is going to happen and how you think it's going to perform. And when it's all said and done, that's what we really, really see when it comes down to the actual sets. Scarlet and Violet, another example. If we don't see another reprint of Obsidian Flame, what could we see with Obsidian Flame? Another one. It's a Charizard chase set. Only getting one print of that particular set could really change the outlook of the cost on that one. I mean, it's just interesting to see and think about, because, I mean, Obsidian Flame booster boxes right now are 105 still. I mean, they kind of stagnated right around. They went up to 115 there at one point, but they keep kind of bopping between 110 and 115. All right, let's see. Gimbo. I'm buying English booster bundles for retail whenever they pop up in stock. I'm not even thinking about it, just swiping the card, baby. I know, I'm doing the same thing. Yep, I am doing the exact same thing. Just, they're up. And like I said, once again, guys, if you do follow Discord, Pokesleep Deals, myself and Gavin in here have been posting up deals as we see them and as they come through, as soon as we find them. So those these booster bundles, I think they've been posted like 4 or 5 different times in the last 24 hours, just because they keep popping up and we keep posting it as soon as we see them. And we're constantly, right now, I'm trying to help out you guys. So if anybody's in the Discord, if you're not in the Discord, join it if you're looking for these products, because we are definitely trying to push them out and give you the best opportunities you can at getting them. So yes, as they're coming in, I'm buying the max and I'm swiping, like you said, swipe baby swipe, and trying to grab those. Kelser, yes, $4,500. Yep, that's what they run right now. $400 to $4,500 for those pieces right now for Evolving Skies. Swift Collections, what do we got? We are essentially back at all-time highs for English 151. And the only thing holding us back is people thinking the cavalry is coming. I might not be. It might not be. And the whole psychology will change. Exactly. And that's just it. We see that a lot. I just had my 10-year anniversary of investing in this hobby. Well, congratulations on that. Yeah, it's been quite fun. I'm at 5 right now. So started investing in about June of 2019. So I'm at 5 years of investing into the hobby. But yeah, you're absolutely right. It's a psychology game, and it's it's that risk reward, like iPhone will put up there. Opportunity cost, risk reward, all of those things come as factors when you're looking at investing in these products. So you're looking at Pokemon investment, you need to risk reward it. Is it good to hold on to this? Do I think it'll value up as much as something else? Is there a better opportunity somewhere else that my money being tied up in this booster box is killing me for the opportunity cost? Is it time to get out? Another good example is Chilling Reign. I still know some people that are holding on to booster boxes of Chilling Reign, even though then they bought them at, right when I did, around that $82 a piece. And it's like they've kind of watched them. The problem is they hit that high about 225, 230, and then they kind of came back down, and now they're kind of holding, hoping it goes back up to that high. But it's like, once again, you sit there and look at it, and I keep telling them, dude, if you sold half of that down right now, you sold half of it, you've almost 2.5 times your profit on those. It's 225% profit on those. Why are you still holding on to them? Why not take that money? How many opportunities have you missed in the last 2 years or last year since that's gone up, how many opportunities are you missing right now that you could be taking advantage of? I mean, you've held on to them for almost 6 months, and they've been up around over $200 for almost 6 months since February. So why are you still sitting on them? Why are you not taking the opportunity that could be there somewhere else? Give a slice. Did you pre-order any Surging Spark like Degens like me did, or are you waiting for the to actually see the set? So I ordered some just because I do sell on TikTok. So that's an advantage of selling on TikTok, is I know I can sell it down. Pre-orders are down. We had to have the pre-orders in before the set is. I didn't pre-order any booster boxes. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. I feel that the set's not it. I feel that there's going to be plenty of the set, and the problem is, I feel that the 103 that that I was getting charged was too high. I think I can get this sub. I would say I could probably get this thing probably sub 100 here at some point. So that's just my feeling on it. Collector saying I'm up 40% in 11 or 46% 11. That's not bad at all. That's, like I said, if you can do, that per year, it's fantastic. That's a great gain. I think last year I was up. So last year I was up 22%. Right now, when I was looking at so I use PokeData. It's got all my Seal product in there. Right now, this year, I'm up actually about 26% currently. So there are some stragglers. Evolving Skies is still probably my #1 big boost when it comes down to my percentage game year over year. Because even this year, I mean, it went up another $100, $150 a booster box. And when you got 30 of them, that's quite a big chunk of your portfolio that's continually kind of ratcheting up every 6 months to a year. It kind of ratchets up another $100. It's really one of those sets that, like I said, when I'm looking at investment, it's a great anchor investment when it comes down to my portfolio. Mostly because I loaded up on Lost Origins. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that's just it. I do have Surging Spark. I do have some of it available. I did not go, like, hog wild on it. I did not buy any booster boxes. I bought a case of the booster bundles. I bought 2 cases of the 144 pack sleeve blisters, just because those sell really well. And I did get a couple of the Terrapoga CTBs, but yeah, the Surging Spark booster packs are what we've got currently. Is what I currently focused on were the booster bundles and the sleeve blisters, just because I can sell them on TikTok. And the sleeve blisters still hold value quite a bit better than just individual packs. Booster boxes, I feel like I'm going to get them sub 103, so I'm not too concerned about those. I think we've got plenty of time to see those go down in price. That's just my feelings currently on them. I don't think it's going to be as strong of a set as some people think. Where do you see 151 prices a year from now, even if they do get a reprint? Well, if they get a reprint in 1 year, I still see them probably being at their highest points. Will they be as high as if we get a small reprint? No, I think that after this reprint, I think people are going to feel a little bit more comfortable going in and purchasing and spending a little bit more money on some of these products, such as these booster bundles. I think they kind of stagnated at that 45 to 50 just because people got to a point where they were thinking there might be a reprint of it. There had been talks about reprints. Everybody was kind of being cautious about it. And when that happens, people tend to not buy just because they just feel like it's not the right time, or they have opportunities to opportunities to wait and get into it a little bit later. So I feel that that's where we were on those particular products. And I think that after this reprint goes through, I think people are going to feel a lot more secure, and they're going to feel a lot more willing to jump in and spend a little bit extra money, especially with a Charizard chase and all of those other things going on. I think that that's kind of my feelings on where we're at. That's my feelings anyways. I think that we'll see some all-time highs in the next year on 151. It's just going to feel more secure for a lot of people. But, all right, guys. Well, we made it an hour already. Takes no time to go 1 hour on a live, that's for sure. So you guys got any more last minute questions here, or any more last minute comments that you guys want to discuss before we call it an evening here? Give you guys one last moment, but otherwise, thank you everybody for joining in on the live. As always, it's always a good discussion when we sit here and have chats like this. So thank you so much everybody for joining as well. It's greatly appreciated for you guys to come on in. One other thing too is I know I had a couple people ask in the chats, and I just finished setting it up for the Pokeball displays. I do have those up again on my website, so I do have a website now. It's just northwoodstcg.com. So if you do want to, if you are looking for those like slabs, I got Surging Spark or I had some pre-release stuff up there as well. Them are all down, and that's as we get more pre-release stuff coming too, I'm going to continue to put that up there as well. So you guys can order pre-releases from me if you're looking for products, if you're looking for particular things. If you are looking for anything as well, just let me know, because I can also, like for example, right now from distributor, I mean, I can get like Stellar Crown, I can get, you know, Shroud of Fable ETBs, I can still get the holiday calendars if you're looking for them. Booster boxes, so I can get the Twilight Masquerade 144 pack of the sleeve blisters are still available. Booster boxes are getting very, very slim. Just letting everybody know from a distributor aspect, they are getting slimmer and slimmer every day. We got Temporal Forces in the 144 pack sleeve blisters as well. So yeah, if you are looking for anything, just DM me and I can let you know what we have available right now. And that way we could potentially get you what you're looking for. I'm also looking at doing some pre-releases with other products. So we do have like Dragon Ball Z Super now, Fusion World coming up. So we got the pre-world for set 5. So if you're looking at Dragon Ball Z, we have that. Lorcana, we're supposed to be getting access to that as well here in the near future. So we do have some of the older sets available for Lorcana. I'm not really listing them. It's just if you're looking for something, let me know and I can let you know if I have access to it. Just so you guys have a heads up on that. If you are selling a case of booster boxes, If you are selling a case of booster boxes, where is the best place to sell? Depends on what it is, and you know, eBay is going to be your best place to sell those particular products. Sometimes on Discord accounts, so there's sales places like on Rattles, on PokeVaults, or even some other ones that have, you know, that way you don't have to pay all the fees. That's the worst part that sucks about it. Sometimes breaking it down into individual booster boxes sells well too. Some people are willing to buy booster boxes out of a case rather than a whole case, so there's a bunch of options you have there. Best place I usually try and do, even Craigslist sometimes works good. Being by Twin Cities, you can get some good deals on the going over to Twin Cities with Craigslist as well. They'll come over, they'll meet halfway, and it saves a lot on the fees. Gimbo Slice, if you had a really expensive box or card, would you consign it or safety? I would consign it. I don't have an issue with consigning, especially, you know, I always think about like Dan at Catch'em Collectibles. I would probably consign through him, no problem. Just gonna do a little pitch for him here, of course. But yeah, if you're looking at Dan at Catch'em Collectibles, very secure when it comes down to consignment, especially for your graded cards and your, you know, expensive cards like that. Plus, he really does reduce those fees comparatively to like selling them at other places. The other one is there's some other places that are good for consignment. I mean, if you find a really reputable consigner, definitely have no problem doing so. Just, I don't consign a lot personally. I just break down or I twist it how I need to. But if I had an expensive card I was trying to sell, then I would definitely probably contact a consigner, because they're going to know how to market it correctly. They're going to know the quick labeling. They're going to have the rapport for selling it so that you're more likely to get more eyes on it and more trust, where people are willing to pay a little bit more premium for a product coming from like Dan than even myself. I mean, normally if you don't trust or don't have a lot of rapport comparatively to someone like Dan who's selling thousands of products a month, and I'm probably downplaying that, you're definitely not going to have the buying or the selling power like he does, which is going to give you the max on that consignment. So that's just me. I have no problem consigning. I do a lot myself just because I like keeping it internal, but definitely if I had something extremely expensive, I would have no problem consigning it at all. Other than that, like I said, guys, thank you guys, everybody, for joining. Greatly appreciate it for everybody that's hanging out. We do have the new pre-orders for Magic as well. I'm just letting everybody know. There's a new Magic the Gathering Jumpstart booster box display for Foundations coming. And we would have to have the order date would be September 12th for that. That's what I got for the pre-order on those. Just looking through any other products that everybody's kind of looking for. I mean, I got Yu-Gi-Oh! So we do have Yu-Gi-Oh! Pre-orders coming as well. There's a couple of those coming up as well. So if you're looking for anything, just let me know. We got some of the 25th anniversary Rarity Collection 2 booster displays as well. So I know them have been in somewhat of a demand, and then they kind of died. So, but yeah, well, thank you guys, everybody, once again for joining. Greatly appreciated. Also, make sure you guys hit that like button before you leave. Helps out the channel and helps out the stream for sure. Last but not least, make sure you guys check out the link for the merch. We've got the shirts out there, like the Gengar Made Me Do It shirt, and also the shirt logo, and then it's always great in the Northwoods. So if you guys want to support the channel, it's a great way to do so and get some merch from the store as well. Other than that, make sure you guys hit that like button before you leave, and we will see you next time here on Northwoods TCG. Yes, Gimbo Slice, always appreciate you as well. Always have great conversations, so thank you so much for joining in. But as always, we're going to call our quits for tonight, and then we will be back next Tuesday, 9 p.m. Central Time. If you are in Minnesota at the card show, I hope to see you on Saturday. Otherwise, we'll see you next time here, Northwoods TCG.